Once again, I'm coming to you. It's your favorite YouTube scout, Draft Raw. Coronavirus, COVID-19. We already been talking about it when it comes to previous videos. It's bad lighting in here, I know. I haven't been able to go to the studio because of the coronavirus. But, like I said, I'm going to keep on giving y'all content that y'all deserve and that y'all need. So in this video, we're going to talk about the top offensive guards in the 2020 NFL Draft. Now, I just want to say this. As I was watching these guards, obviously there's going to be some tackles that played in college that need to switch to guards. There's also, some guards that, are going to stay guards. There was some disappointment, especially with, definitely with the guys that they consider the top guards within this draft. And there are two small school guys that I was kind of, I was intrigued by, and after watching their tape, I'm a little bit more intrigued by them, and I feel as though they can actually hold up well of being guards in the NFL, but they actually play tackle at the small school level. So we're going to talk about those two guys definitely. But let's just get into it. Let's talk about the first guy, and that is Netane Muti. I think it's actually pronounced Nathani. It's something weird. It's a very Hawaiian type of name, I guess, Samoan type of name. So, but I'm gonna just call him Netane Muti right now. Netane Muti, whatever. Everybody knows him. He plays for Fresno State. PFF has him rated as the top offensive guard in this draft. There's also other websites that have him as the top offensive guard. He is one of those guys that, if it wasn't for him getting injured a bunch, he would literally probably would be the top offensive guard. But when I watched the tape, this is what I saw. I saw a strong, aggressive type of player. The problems that I saw with him, though, even though he was strong and aggressive, is that he looked lost sometimes. Definitely certain blocking assignments. It didn't seem like he knew what he was doing. He's not as athletic as I thought he would be. I mean, he's a very big, powerful road grader type of dude, but he doesn't have the athleticism. Feet and hand placement, he struggles with that. Sometimes he lunges, sometimes he's get off balance. He needs to get better at using his feet and use his hand. You can tell that he sometimes has good hand placement. You can tell that sometimes he has good feet, but he needs to improve on being able to consistently use both of those at the same time and become a consistent offensive guard in both pass blocking and run blocking. And he's definitely not the #1 guard in this draft. I don't know what they were thinking, PFF at all. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, sometimes PFF, it's kind of hard because I trust them when they grade certain positions, but other positions I just can't trust them with. And they tend to sometimes covet certain things more than others, and that really puts a damper on a lot of different things. Especially like they covet coverage ability a lot from linebackers or just the back seven in general. They covet pass rushing skills from the defensive line. They cover pass blocking skills. They pretty much covet more of the passing type of thing when it comes to the offense and defense, and that's what really kind of it skews their metric system a lot. I do like PFF, but I just don't know what they were thinking when they have this guy as the #1 guy. The next we're going to talk about is Solomon Kinley. From Georgia. Not very quick or athletic. Big and really strong. But he gets beat with quickness. But the biggest thing is that he's a punishing run blocker. I've seen some other things that I've read that have said that he's actually a pretty good solid pass blocker. I didn't see that on tape. I didn't see what they saw. It was just a really big, strong dude that was just a mauler in the running game. He's just a power guy. Like, to me, that's all he is. Like I said, he's not quick or athletic, so he's going to get beat by speed rushers. They did say that he would need to lose weight. I believe he played at around like 340 pounds during the season. If he drops that to like 320, he should be fine. Maybe he'll be a little quicker. But from what I saw, I just didn't see what I wanted to see. And I mean, if you're going to play at 340, he wanted to play at that weight, pretty point blank period. I mean, that's what it is. So, I mean, he can drop all the weight he wants, but you're just not sure if it's going to be a consistent weight drop? Is it going to consistently be that weight? Is it going to consistently, you know, when he does gain weight, is he going to act like what I saw on tape, or is he going to be a better player? So that's the biggest things when it comes to him. He just needs to. Solomon just needs to. I really can't tell you. I mean, just lose the weight, see if you got the quickness, see if you can play this position and everything. But he definitely needs to improve. But I still did like him a little bit because of his punishing run blocking ability. And then we're going to talk about Shea Limino. I don't know how to say his name. I know IUX, sometimes it sounds like U or O. So I don't know how to say his name exactly. But he played at Oregon. I really liked him, and actually I thought that he was the #1 guard in this draft, and one website actually did have him as #1 guard in the draft, so that was pretty it was pretty satisfying to see that, you know, someone agrees with me, and I didn't even read their stuff yet, and I see like, whoa, okay, so what they saw on tape is what I saw on tape, and I feel good about that. So it can't be moved. He literally cannot be moved. He's aggressive. He moves well. He's a tough blocker, and he's probably the best guard in this draft. Just all of those traits that he has, like the moving well when it comes to pulling, when it comes to just kind of just moving in space, period. On screen plays, whatever, he moves really, really well. He's a very aggressive blocker and very tough blocker. I mean, he may not physically be the most gifted offensive lineman, but he's definitely one of the more aggressive, competitive offensive linemen that you're going to see. Then we're going to talk about John Simpson. I believe played at Clemson. Big, tough, strong. Another guy that needs to improve his feet because he gets beat by quickness. He's a solid guard to me. Nothing crazy about him. Just a regular, strong, tough guard. Then we got Damian Lewis from LSU. He needs to get stronger. And it's kind of weird because I thought he would be a lot more stronger than what he was. I thought he would just really hit guys or something. And I don't know why I thought that, but I thought he was going to be a mauler. He holds up pretty well on most plays, though. And it's crazy because the worst thing about him is that he needs to get stronger, and then he's not athletic at the same time. So I don't know how great he will be, but I can definitely tell you that he's a competitor. He definitely competes. Like I said, he may not be the most gifted in terms of he's not athletic and he's not very strong, but he's definitely a competing type of guard that's really gonna try his hardest to make the block and be able to secure the running back making a big play, or the quarterback standing in that pocket making a big play. So he's definitely a guy that's somebody to look out for because of his competitiveness. Next, I'm going to talk about who I felt was though probably was my #2 guard in this draft, and that would be Jonah Jackson. I thought he was a nasty run blocker, but sometimes he would miss his run blocking assignment, and he's a really, really good pass blocker. I thought that when it came to both things, like his feet were pretty good, both run and pass blocking. Like I say, he's a nasty run blocker, so he's just mauling guys. And then as a pass blocker, you know, he kind of holds guys where they need to be. I saw Shane Limino when I saw him, but he was another guy that didn't get moved too much. He just seemed to, when it was pass blocking situations, he seemed to have a good punch and seemed to be able to hold his own. So I think that him from Ohio State, Jonah Jackson, is a really good offensive guard in this draft. And like I said, I gave him my #2 guard in this draft, and I like what I saw. The only thing that's going to be the problem with him is that I think I read somewhere that he's a little bit undersized or something like that, like he's under 300 pounds. But when he plays out there, he doesn't play like he's under 300 pounds for a guard. So it's pretty nice to even know, to see something like that. And if he does gain weight and gain more muscle and strength, I mean, he can be a real beast within the NFL. The next two guys we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about both the small school guys. One played right tackle, the other one played left tackle at their respective small schools. Louisiana Lafayette's Robert Hunt played right tackle, and actually I kind of feel as though he should be a right tackle in this draft. I thought he used his hands well. He's a really good blocker in both pass and run. The only thing is that he's just from a small school. Like I said, I felt as though he's one of those guys that I probably has my 3rd guard if you're just going to put him at guard, but I felt as though he was definitely a guy that you could keep at the tackle position and see if he actually works out, because you never know. He could actually work out and be a really good right tackle within the NFL. And if you got that, that's an extra position you don't have to worry about. And it's it's harder to find tackles, both left tackle and right tackles, than it is to find guards. So, yeah, whatever about that. Then Ben Bartch from St. John. Very, very small school. I mean, the teams that he was playing against, I mean, at least I knew who Louisiana Lafayette was a little bit. But Ben Bartch had a very small school at St. John, shows good punch and strength, but needs to play inside because he's not a tackle. So he's definitely a guy that's going to be a guard. He always needs to be technically sound, though. And that's one of the biggest knocks about him, is that if he doesn't use his technique on every play, he's going to get beat. And that's what's going to really hurt him coming into the NFL. He always needs to be technically sound. But I saw a guy that was pretty good technical most plays. And like I said, he's got a good punch and he shows good strength. So he doesn't show the best feet, but he's got something that you can see in that he could possibly be a guard within the NFL. And I believe he showed up at the Senior Bowl and played pretty well and held up pretty well at both the tackle and guard positions. So this is something that he just needs to work on, but he can be a pretty good player. And like I said, he will probably be my 4th best guard within this draft. Then Logan Stenberg from, I believe, Kentucky. Road grader, solid pass blocker, can get beat with speed, though. And that's even in run plays or pass plays, he can get beat with speed. But I saw a guy that really pushed guys out of the way as a road grader. And he was a very solid pass blocker. There wasn't much to say, like, I didn't like him or anything. He was a pretty good player. I like watching his tape a little bit. And he's kind of right there with another guy. Let's just get right into it. Hakeem Ananichi and Aiden Jai. I don't know how to say his name. But he played at Kansas. He's good versus power, but not speed. He's a high energy guy. He's definitely a guard because he was playing left tackle at Kansas, and he's a mauler. And I think that between him and Logan from Kentucky, both of these guys, they kind of grade out the same to me. I think that I like Hakeem a little bit better, but I think that overall you got a guy that with Hakeem that can really show out and could possibly, I mean, people may not have him rated as high, but I think that he's one of those underrated 4th or 5th round type of guards that could really make some way within the NFL as being a starting guard, you know, when he gets drafted. And the last 2 people I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to go too deep into them. I'm going to just say I didn't like their tape at all. And that's the 2 Michigan guys, and they both played on the left side. Left tackle, John Runyon, and left guard, Ben Bredesen. John Runyon is looked to possibly play guard, and I can see why he need to play guard. His feet wasn't that good. And then Ben would get pushed back in the pocket a lot, and I really didn't like that. And both guys, they seem to not really move any players. They seem to kind of just get stuck. And it was kind of hard to watch that tape because I just didn't feel as though they were as good as I thought that they would be. And I was really hoping that John Runyon, who is the son of the other John Runyon, who I think played for the Redskins, I was hoping to see him being really, really good in college, and it just didn't work out. So I just wanted to name those 2 guys because I did study them and I did put a little bit of work into them, but I just want to say I didn't like their tape as much. But just to go back over, Shane Lemino, Oregon guard, my number 1 guy. Jonah Jackson from Ohio State, number 2. Robert Hunt from Louisiana Lafayette, number 3. Ben Bartch from St. John, he's definitely my number 4. And Hakeem Ananichi from Kansas is my number 5. Once again, this is your boy Draft Raw, still giving you content during this coronavirus pandemic. I thank anybody for watching. If this is your first time seeing me, please subscribe, please comment, and please hit that like button. Once again, like I said, this is Draft Raw. Thank you.